boarding requested.
Oops. I don't know what I just selected. Anyways. Good afternoon, guys. Just trying to get GSX going there, and unfortunately hit the, some random airliner. I'm not sure who it was. Alliance Ground. But today, anyways, we are starting down here at Atlanta, and we plan to go on up to Cleveland. We got some ATC through Vatsim. It looks like we've got departure and center, and currently there's nobody up in Ohio, but let's go with both, and hopefully maybe someone will be on there whenever we get that way. That's never a guarantee, obviously. So let's see, I'm finishing up the last couple things here, and I should be good to go. Okay. I don't think that door is lined up very well. Here I was thinking that we were parked nice, front line. And of course, we got people flying through the air. Imagine that. Never fails. Thanks, GSX.
Crew boarding starting.
Okay, so let me pull up my checklist here. I thought I had it up, but must have closed it. I've actually got this dark mode checklist, which is fantastic because although I need to change the rest of it to be dark, but I don't know about the rest of you, but I much prefer the dark mode for just about everything anymore over anything that's blinding. These monitors have gotten so bright over the years that it's kind of painful in the eyeballs. Alright, so pre-flight park and brake on. Weather radar is off. Predictive wind shear is off. Spoilers disarmed and retracted.
Passengers boarding starting.
Flaps retracted. They are. They're fixed the throttle here real quick. I was flying the Honda jet the other day. There we go. Alright, those are fixed. Ours is a slightly different setup. Engine mode selector is normal. Engine masters are off. Thrust levers are idle. We just fixed that. Transponder mode is in standby. It is in standby. Anti-skid is on. Landing gear down. Wipers are off. Okay. So cockpit preparation, we've already started with the batteries 1 and 2. External power is on. APU and engine fire test, we've did that off stream. So we'd be ready to go. Oxygen and crew supply is on. ADIRs are in nav, all three of them. Cockpit lights, we'll leave these on so it's a little easier to see. Nav and logo lights, nav and logo are on. No smoking signs are now on. And emergency lights are armed. So, next, whoops, didn't mean to click on that. Next we'll go over to the EFB and we'll go ahead and get set up here. Oh, yeah, I set this flight up yesterday, intending to stream, but for a long day at work I decided not to. So we will just ignore that, and I don't know if can you change the date that this is supposed to be for? Okay, well, that's not going to fix anything, so we'll go with it. Alright, so got the flight plan in. Weather at Atlanta today is nice and clear. We got a little bit of broken clouds, or a few clouds at 7,000, broken clouds at 15,000, and overcast at 20,000. Temperature is 12 degrees with -3. Altimeter is 297, and I honestly can't remember how to read the remarks too well, so they're not super important for a day like today, so we'll skip it. Weather at our destination. Up in Cleveland, it looks like I got 15 knot winds, visibility is 7 miles, so we got overcast at 1,100 feet. And temperature is 1 with -3, so it's going to be a little chilly when we get up there. Altimeter's 2987, and once again, can't read the remarks. I gotta work on that. So we'll go over the ground services. GSX is loading things for us, but we still have the GPU, which we can go ahead and remove because I have the APU on. Chocks and cones. I should have turned the external power off. Oops, my bad. And we'll go ahead and turn the bleed on since the APU's been running for at least a minute here. Oh, what are you yelling at me for already? Oh, okay. Oh, we don't have the fuel on. Let's go ahead and turn that on. Be a little against the checklist here, but that should take care of our issues. Alright, mass and balance. Looking at my flight plan over here on Volanta. We are looking at 162 passengers, which it has, and a planned fuel of, capacity is cargo 9505, so this needs to change to 9505. And that'll get us close enough. And the fuel was 16, okay, fuel's good, and 16,000 pounds. 16.3 technically. So go ahead and load the aircraft here. We'll do a fast time because I've got GSX running and I've already done a few things for the checklist here. Okay. Alright, so FB set up for the flight plan. So we can go on over to the annunciator light testing. Test. Everything looks good up here. And easy there. And probe window heat is on auto. It is on auto. Let's see, I lost my place. Anti-ice is off. Air conditioning is as required, so we went ahead and turned the APU bleed on. It's a little chilly, but we'll warm it back up in the back there for him. Not too bad though. Brake pressure, so let's go ahead and we'll turn on the electric hydraulic pump. Bring that brake pressure up, which it looks like we've already got a decent amount. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Brake pressure's up, so we will take off the parking brake and set it back. And there we go. Okay, brake pressure's good. Let that pressure build back up. And we'll double check the hydraulic pressure here. So we'll let that build back up to 3,000. And we'll move on through our checklist here. So air conditioning is on, brake pressure check. ECAM status is checked. Nothing out of the ordinary there. ECAM recalls good. Radio panel set up. Alright, so we have approach, which is on 133 at 475. So we'll go ahead and set that up. 474. 475. And we'll go ahead and put center on there, which is 132.975. 32.975. Okay. Alright, just whoops, I'm not going to bring that up. It's the wrong button. I am looking at something on my stream here. Give me 1 second. There we go. Okay. Sorry, I have to bring something back up on OBS here. Okay, so got the radio up and ready. Oops, oh, dang it, I did it again. I did not mean to close that again. Oh, I didn't close it. Never mind. Okay, so ECAM, radio panels, radio's good. Baro. The altimeter is 2903. 2993. And the FIS constraints are 10 arc constraints and 10 nautical miles. And then before start, we will do the windows and doors closed and locked, APU on, APU bleed on, and the McDo setup is complete. So we'll go ahead and do the McDo setup while we're still loading. Nope, we just finished boarding. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get this set up. So today is the 17th of January 23, so we're good on the nav data. And we can go to init. Go ahead and request our route. Give that a second to load. Alright, there we go. And then we'll just do Delta 929. And we had a cost index of 22 and a flight level of 370. Pull in the temp. Alright, so we'll go ahead and pull in the winds for our flight. Uh-oh. Okay, data's good. Okay, now we will go to the flight plan. Today we are departing runway 26 left. Let me double check, make sure ATC, they sent me a PDC ahead of time. Let's see if they mention which runway. They did not, so 26 left. Oh, what am I doing? Departure. 26 left. Out of the, I think that's Pageant 2. Pageant 2. And with a transition of Smith. Insert. And then we will go down to the end of the flight plan. Hit the arrival. The arrival got 24 right on Roland 2. And Jannies. So we'll click through here, make sure there's nothing goofy going on with our flight plan. Looks good. Got this manual. Since we don't have any ATC, we'll go ahead and clear this out for now. Insert that, so we should be good for everything. Okay, cool. Here. And we'll move on to performance. Let's see, do we have everybody on board on the EFB yet? We do. Okay, cool. So 0 fuel weight 130. Oh, whoops. Not performance yet. We gotta do this first. Oh, shoot. What did I say? 131. Actually, is that still loaded? Oh, it is. Okay. So let's take a look at our load sheet. Did they send us anything yet? I haven't got anything yet. Okay. So we will go over and take a look at the flight plan and see what it says for now. So, and we'll just double check everything before we take off. So 135.9 and a 0 fuel center of gravity. We won't know for a minute, so we'll just put a placeholder of 291 in there. Block fuel is 16374, 16.3. Always round down here. Cruise level, that's okay. And that's doing its little calculations. Okay, so takeoff weight's 151.5, landing weight's 143.6. And that is pretty close to our flight plan. Boarding complete. 29.2 on the Okay, so we can go ahead and update these. 135.9, 135.1, and that was 29.2. Block fuel is 16.3. Did I enter a 0? 16.3. So, okay, there we go. And everything adjusted, so now we can go over the performance. Load sheet, sync live weather, and we're taking off of runway 26 left. It is currently dry, and we'll calculate. Oh, sorry, I'm going to leave the packs on, and everything else is good. I'm going to calculate. 147, 147, 150, 1 down 1. Since we've already got the hydraulics running, we can go ahead and change our trim, and then let's check our flight control, make sure that is at 0.1 and is at 0.2 right here. Oh, well, crap. There we go. Alright, now we'll go ahead and turn off of our electric hydraulic pump. We don't need to run it anymore. Flex temperature of is at 5.8. And we are good to go here. So next up is request ATC clearance. That's squawk. I got a PDC, so my squawk code was, let me check this wall of text here, 2035. 2035. And we'll go ahead and turn this on. External power disconnected and off. We did that. Fuel pumps are on. Seatbelt signs are on. Thrust levers are at idle. Fuel quantity is checked. Should be 16.3 or abouts. It is. Takeoff data is correct. It matches what we got over here on the BFB. Transponder mode is in auto. Beacon lights on. Engine motor select IGN. Ignition is checked. Parking brake is set, and we will ask GSX for a pushback and start. That is not the right button. Why is it always difficult? And prepare for pushback and departure, and 26 left, so we need to do a nose right. Anybody out here on the runway? This guy sitting next to us here. Alright, call the tower at 133475. I haven't heard anybody say anything, so let's do a little radio check. Radio check. Oh, let's see here. Something is not coming through on Vatsim. I'm gonna have to disconnect and reconnect. See if that fixes us. Well, I was going to do Vatsim. Let's see what happens here. Why are we not receiving anything? Let's change servers. Try that. Why? Connect. Kind of waiting for somebody to say something.
Southwest 1133, 1 mile from Haines, cleared ILS on like 26 right approach.
Okay, so I said we need to put the nose to the right, tail to the left. So let's double check, make sure nobody's out here pushing. Nobody is. Nose to the right, tail to the left. link pushback. I need you to start my track IR real quick. And should be good here. Pretty sure moved everything, so GSX won't get upset. Yeah, we did. Okay, cool. Perfect. Okay, I don't see anybody. GSX is not saying anything to me.
Southwest 239, 27 right, ready to go.
South 239 on football, 27 right, clear for takeoff.
Football 27 right, clear for takeoff, Southwest 279.
Release parking brakes. Okay, well, for some reason, GSX has decided not to talk to me, so.
Approach Kcle, Delta 2046, Delta 9, we have Sierra, request Airways, Msfs.
And bleed is on, so we'll go ahead and start engine number 2.
At 2046, the Porsche, I got no airways filed for you.
And hopefully nobody's back there because they weren't before.
Sorry about that, we'll file Delta 2046.
And climb and maintain 10,000 would be our initial altitude, so let's go ahead and set that.
Alright, let's try that again, Delta 2046, just fine.
Where's it, Resident?
Alright, engine number 2 is available. The parking brakes, and we'll start number 1. So I am expecting that they'll stick us out on Foxtrot to Echo to runway 26 left.
Island approach good day, Delta 379er, 2010, descending 120.
Delta 379er, Atlanta approach, altimeter 2993, runway 26 right.
2993 and 26 right for Delta 379er.
Let's go ahead and get
Delta
rid of,
239, radar contact.
GSX.
Sorry, Delta 239, radar contact,
Something's funny.
altitude.
4,500 for 10,000, Southwest 239.
Southwest 239, climb maintain 14,000.
14,000, Southwest 239.
Alright, engine number 2 is available. So, parking brake set, engine selector is a normal. APU we can turn off. And APU bleed we can turn off. Auto brake set to max. Max. Flight controls. Free and clear, full left, full right, up, down, left rudder, right rudder. Okay, we're good there. Spoilers, armed, flaps.
So 1133, runway 26 right to land.
Clearly, Southwest.
Pitch trim is set, rudder trim is good, anti-ice is not required right now. Flight instruments check to request taxi clearances next.
Delta 2999, descend and maintain 5,000.
Is that 5,000 for number 4299?
Nobody around us here.
Southwest 239, contact Atlanta Center 132.97. You have a good flight.
13297, Southwest 239, we'll see you.
Landed approach, Delta 929, ready to taxi.
Delta 929, Atlanta approach, runway 26 left, taxi via Foxtrot.
Taxi via Foxtrot, runway 26 left, Delta 929. Okay, so we got our clearance, so let's go ahead and turn our taxi lights on.
With information Delta.
Strobe lights on.
Clarence delivery as a PDC.
I think it's taxi lights on.
Delta 1381, expect PDC.
Runway turn off. It's dark, so we'll go ahead and turn that on just for safety purposes. Strobes are auto. Takeoff config. We will check. We haven't been running the engines for 2 minutes yet, so it's not asking us for it. So, but we'll go ahead and. Alright, signs. Oh, what did we not turn on? Seatbelts. That would be good. Predictive wind shear. It's on. TCAS company message. TCAS is standby, so we'll leave that on standby for now until we get to the runway, and takeoff config as normal, so we're good to go.
Flight center, hello, Southwest 239, 14,000.
So let's get a move on.
Southwest 239, still on Atlanta approach frequency. No problem. Contact the center, 132.97. Good.
That's embarrassing. Whoops.
Happens.
Southwest 1133 is Alpha Bravo 3.
Southwest 1133 at Bravo 2, cross runway 26 left, join Foxtrot to the ramp.
Cross 26 left, join Foxtrot to the ramp. Southwest 1133.
And we're clear left and right.
Delta 9. Correction, Delta 379, descend to maintain 9,000.
You almost called my call sign.
Delta 379 second.
Delta 379, descend to maintain 9,000.
90,000, Delta 379er.
Delta 2299, turn 15 degrees left, descend to maintain 3,000.
Alright, so for this departure, we are going to be doing our nav to
3,000.
impasse.
Flight departure, good
Taking
evening,
a
Delta
basically take off, take a right to impasse,
Delta, due north, ready to
follow
taxi.
the way out. Initial
Delta
altitude is
1363
10,000.
at Atlanta approach, runway 26 left, taxi via Foxtrot.
26 left via Foxtrot, 1363.
Really like taking off and landing in Atlanta. Just one, it's busy normally, and two, the
Number 27 Alpha, runway 26 right, Katl.
arrival and departures are very nice. Like well established, well set up, easy to follow, nothing crazy. Looks like somebody's poking through the clouds there.
Atlanta approach, American 781 with you, descending on the Aussie approach through 16,000 feet.
American 781 at Atlanta approach, altimeter 2993, runway 26 left.
26 left, American 781. Thank you very much.
Delta 929, RNAV to impasse, runway 26 left, clear for takeoff.
RNAV the impasse, runway 26 left, clear for takeoff, Delta 929.
Delta 2299, turn left, heading 300, join the localizer.
Turn left, heading 300.
Okay, so we've got our
Delta 379, turn 20 degrees right, descend to maintain 6,000.
20 degrees right and 6,000 for
So
Delta.
we'll pull out here and do
379er.
our before takeoff checklist.
Delta 2299, miles from ROM, maintain 3,000 until established, clear ILS, runway 27 left approach.
Oh, too far.
Delta 2299, 4 miles from CJ, cleared ILS, runway 27 left approach.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Forward a little
Down,
bit. All right.
left approach.
Mark brake. Cabin crew. Advise brake temperature is good, brake fans are off, engine mode selector is on ignition. Packs are good. Radar is it doesn't work, so it's off. Predictive wind shear is on. TCAS TARA. Exterior lights, nose wheel lights to take off. Strobed on. Landing lights on. Ecam memo is good to go. Alright, so we're good. Start the chrono. Just really hard to see in the dark.
Delta 379, just going to maintain 4,000.
4,379.
And we're good to go. Alright, 50%. Flex, take off. Forward pressure.
Delta 2299, runway 27 left, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 27 left.
Slowly release pressure. V1 and rotate.
Delta 1363, RNAV to MPass, runway 26 left, clear for
How's the red
takeoff.
gear up?
RNAV to impasse, 26 left, clear to take off, Delta 1363.
Love it.
American 781, descend to maintain 9,000.
Down to 9,000, American 781.
And go ahead and turn off our brakes and our ground spoilers. Coming up on 1,500 feet. So let's go ahead and turn on the anti-ice for the engine since we're going into some precipitation here. And get to our turn and levers and
Atlanta
climb.
ground, USA 242 ready for taxi with information, current information.
And we're heading on now.
USA 242, Atlanta approach, runway 26 left, taxi via Foxtrot.
26 left via Foxtrot, USA 242.
Once we approach our S speed here, we
Delta
will
929, we're to contact, say altitude.
3,100 for 10,000, Delta 929.
Delta 929, climb maintain 14,000, clear direct Paget.
Climb maintain 14,000, direct Paget, Delta 929.
Delta 379, you're 5 miles from Haines, turn right heading 245, maintain 4,000 until established. Cleared ILS, runway 26, right approach.
Okay, so
Running 245.
coming up on S speed, so you're safe to
Contact
retract the flaps.
26 right for Delta 379.
Center departure, Delta 1363 through 2700.
Delta 1363, Atlanta for departure at our contact. Climb maintain 14,000.
14,000, 1363.
I personally like to hand fly up to 10,000. Makes it a little more enjoyable for me. It can be a little chaotic with when ATC starts throwing new altitudes and directs just like they did, but luckily it's not too bad here in Atlanta. Plus the Fenix just flies beautifully. Handles exactly like you would want it to. Okay, so after takeoff, checklist.
November 27 Alpha taxi.
Landing
Alpha
gear
direct
is
today.
retracted.
Alpha
Spoilers
direct
are
today.
disarmed. Thrust is set to climb. Let's make sure we don't get any overspeeds here at 250. Flaps are retracted. Packs are
Delta 379
on.
established, 26 right.
Delta 379, runway
Probably
26
go ahead
right
and
to
turn
the
off
land.
our anti-ice, get a little bit of performance back.
26 right, Delta 379.
And we
Delta
can turn
929, contact Atlanta Center 132.97, good day.
3297, Delta 929, have a good night.
American 781.
Delta 1119.
Delta 1119, I have a reroute advice ready to copy.
Say again.
Delta 1119, I have a reroute for you, advise ready to copy.
Ready for reroute, ready to copy.
Delta 1119, cleared to the Orlando Airport via direct ZJX. That's Zulu, Juliet, Alpha, Yankee, X-ray to join the Grinch for arrival.
Atlanta approach Delta 334 with you at flight level 360.
Let's let these guys get through their nonsense. Alright, 10,000
That's
autopilot
Juliet,
engaged, and I will turn my
Zulu,
radar off.
Juliet, Alpha, Yankee, X-ray. Delta
Mission
1119.
1119, affirm to join the Grinch for arrival.
Roger,
And
on
retract our
Grinch
landing
for arrival.
lights.
Delta 1119.
Seatbelts
Thank you, Rebecca.
on. That's not too bumpy, so
The
go
aircraft
ahead
check it in, say call, sir.
and turn that off and ice as required. And we'll wait till 18,000.
Aircraft check.
Atlanta Center, 344, flight level 340.
Entry 344, Atlanta Center, right at. Delta 929, Atlanta Center, if you're up, call me maintain flight level 370.
370, Delta 929. Yeah, he called me in, and I was
Atlanta
just
Center, Delta 334 with you at flight level 360.
waiting for him up to speak there, and he must have realized that he didn't have time for me to call in, so that worked out nicely.
Atlanta Center, Delta 1363 with you on the climb to 140.
The 1363, Atlanta Center, call maintain flight level 390.
390, 1363.
Sun Country 344, radar contact 50 miles to the south of the Columbus via War, hello.
Blue.
Now Delta 344, Atlanta Center, right now. But a 929 squawk 2024.
2024, Delta 929.
At the 334 radar contact, the 5 miles to the southeast of the foothills VOR. Descend and maintain 12,000, the Atlanta altimeter 29903, and if you could expedite, please.
Hold descend, maintain 12,000, altimeter is out, Delta 360.
Looks like we're going to be on the edge of some lake effect weather up in Cleveland. I'm looking at Atlanta's radar here. Shouldn't be too bad. I don't think we'll be in
For
it.
the altimeter, did you say 29903 for Delta 360?
Delta 334A from Atlanta altimeter 29903.
Right.
Cabin pressure's good. It's rising. Everything here looks good. And we can go ahead and move our range up to 320 there.
That 1119, confirm your direct ZJX.
That's, yeah, Zulu,
Somebody
Juliet,
on the fish finder here. What's
Alpha
going on?
Yankee, X-ray.
Hey, friends.
Oh, they're behind me. See them? Yep, right there. This thing's so sensitive. Alright, we are at 18,000, so let's go ahead and put this into standard. What is our climb profile? They haven't told us to speed up yet, but let's see what our profile is. Performance. .78. Another
Sterling
115,
3164,
115
Indianapolis
miles
offline, frequency change
left
approved.
climb.
Over to Unicom now, Spirit Wings 3164. Thank you for the service, sir.
Yeah.
Alright, so cruise. Be our next item on the checklist. Nav aids, good there. Seatbelt signs as required. Monitor the flight, check the ECAM, and check the weather. So currently the weather is pretty much clear all the way up to Cleveland, where we'll encounter some stuff on landing. So at this point, we can sit back and relax. So we will move our camera up to here. Actually, you know what? Let's go back to, let's do this. Let's turn off the, that's not the right settings. Go to cabin. There it is. Cabin lights off. And we'll change our
Set up
view.
334, I'm holding instructions, advise ready to copy.
I think it's
Go
instrument.
ready, copy, Delta
Cabin
378.
window left
Set up
forward.
334, hold, correction, clear to the Aussie waypoint, hold northeast of Aussie on the arrival. Expect further clearance.
None of these
at
are really that good either.
Correction, 0100 Zulu, and no delay expected.
We're clear to the Aussie waypoint, we'll hold north of that, and we'll expect our clearance at 0100 Zulu. Delta 334.
334, right back track.
About 10 miles behind us. Gaining a little bit. Well, maybe not. It's also a Delta flight. Looks like it's a
Atlanta Center,
738.
USA 242, crossing 12,000 feet, climbing 14,000 feet.
USA 242, Atlanta Center, climb and maintain flight level 370.
370, USA 242.
Go ahead and move this over to Unicom frequency of 1228. Do a quick cycle through our menus here. Engine. Was it the... Yeah, it's the air, fly-by wire that has the PSI.
Set up 334, turn right,
Which
turn
shows a maxed out
030,
PSI
vector for
down. I'm not
descent.
sure if that's for everybody or...
030, vector 334.
Leads.
Alpha 1679, correction, the Washington Center offline, frequency change approved, bye-bye.
Because it's
Pressure.
altitude is right away.
Yeah.
Electrical. Surprising how hot these things run. I think they're the inverters. Hydraulics are good. This one, the green is down a little bit because when the landing gear is up, it
Atlanta
has
Center,
a bit
good
of
night,
oil
United
in
2072 with you.
inside the hydraulics for the
Booster
landing gear
gear.
itself. Fuel temperatures are okay.
At 2072, Atlanta Center, squawk 1104.
Review should be off. It is
1104 is at 2072.
we might cool it off a little bit. Surprised it's running a little hot, actually.
At 334, continue right turn heading 040.
Turn heading 040, so the 334.
334, maintain 15,015 pounds.
Okay, we'll go down here and check out the fuel prediction. So currently, we're showing that we'll have 8,300 pounds once we get to Cleveland. So we got plenty of fuel. And I believe that's 123 minutes or an hour and 23 minutes, one of the two.
I got a stop of 3176, 40 miles northeast of the Greensboro VOR, follow 370. Correction, follow 30.
Southwest 3176, Atlanta Center, radar contact, squawk 1147.
1147, Southwest
We're
31.
actually getting ahead of them now a little bit.
United 2072, radar contact, 30 miles to the south of Pulaski, VOR, hello.
Hello.
Bit of a crosswind here. Yeah, looks like we're about 40 miles from top of climb. 71. Why is this ship 40 in it?
At 334, clear to the Atlanta airport via red array.
Clear to the Atlanta airport via red array.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay. So this is 40 miles. No. Why does that say 20? When we're set to 80. So this is 80 miles from us. Interesting. Not entirely sure what's going on there. Well, that says 40. Why does this say 64? Is that because... Oh, where's that at? Performance?
At 334, turn right turn heading 200, descend to maintain 9,000.
It might be because our recommended max altitude is 372 and the optimal is 340, so it's probably accounting for a slight delay in our climb performance, or a slight decrease in our climb performance.
At 334, contact line approach 133.47, bye-bye.
133.47. See you later. Delta 334,
Coming up on Knoxville here.
Atlanta Center, American 526, fully short of runway 18 center at Charlotte, ready for departure.
American 526 center, fly runway heading 18 center, clear for takeoff.
Fly runway heading 18 center, clear for takeoff, American 526.
We just took our right turn, heading up to HNN. Not entirely sure what this stands for just yet. Give me 1 second. Henderson. Looks like we're about to reach our top climb here, and we'll begin to cruise.
USA 242, radar contact lost.
We'll be handing us over to Unicom here in a moment.
Plus 3176 traffic, let's see here, 1 o'clock, 30 miles eastbound is a 737, flight level 370.
We're located 731.
Almost 239 traffic, 11 o'clock, 25 miles, stay opposite direction, a company at flight level 380.
Alright, we're looking at that traffic, so let's keep it right.
At 1103, contact Memphis Center 133.65, good night.
Just now passing over Knoxville.
At 1103, Memphis Center 133.65, good night.
North Lake right below us here.
3365, 1103, bye-bye.
Yeah.
I believe that's Middlesboro, Kentucky, right there. Down there on the left.
Sun Country 344, contact Memphis Center 133.65, good night.
13365, Sun Country 344, have a good one.
At a 929 Indianapolis on flying frequency change approved. Bye-bye.
Over to Unicom. Have a good evening. Delta 929.
Yeah, Southwest 239 to Washington Center on flying frequency change approved. Good day.
Frequency change for Southwest.
Swap over to Unicom. And now it's going to be really nice and quiet. And off to our right here, we got the mountains of eastern Kentucky. Get rid of that glare. It was interesting. Clouds just loaded in over there. Let's check these settings here, and then we'll go back up to the hood. Now it looks like our buddy is still hanging behind us somewhere. I didn't see him when I was spinning around. How far he's gotten to now? 20 miles, okay. Looks like we're coming up on our halfway point here. Check our fuel prediction. I think that went up. I think it was 8.6. Now it's 8.8. So we're actually getting some pretty good fuel mileage. And he's down just a bit more. It's a little bright for my liking. These guys, whew, very bright. And let's see when our top of descent is. A7 at 136 UTC, so we got 25 minutes. I got lost. Couple bumps here and there. I don't know about you guys, but these early sunsets are starting to get a little old. I'm ready for some nice weather and long days. I believe we're looking at Huntington ahead of us there, up in West Virginia. The next large city that we come across looks like it'll be Columbus. Probably get a good view of that on our, we'll probably be on our descent about that time. Probably be beginning our descent prep here shortly, actually. Top descent's 120 miles, so we still got a little bit to go. Take care of that too steep approach issue in a little bit. Those of you wondering how I can tell, this little icon right here shows your top of descent, and then of course we got the 120 miles on our ARC flight plan navigation display. I don't know if you guys can see the stars on the stream there, but it amazes me what the Sobo's been able to do in terms of getting the galaxies. I mean, I'm not sure exactly where they source their data from, but it's pretty impressive what you can see. I wonder if they can do the northern lights. That'd be pretty cool. They want us to tell them why we were so delayed by, 400 hours or whatever it said earlier. It's because I didn't bother to make a new flight with my virtual airline. So I cleared out those messages just to clean up the ECAM here, since Airbus has the mentality that you don't want to see anything on or displayed, and you're in good shape. So basically, you know, the overhead has nothing lit up. The cam's empty. Nothing's blaring at you. I don't know about you guys, but I much prefer the Airbus cockpit over the Boeing, simply because of how nice and clean it is, and you know, you don't have switches all over the place that don't make any sense of why they are where they are. Go ahead and take a moment to go through our menus again here. So, oil's still good, pressure's good, temperatures are fine. Lead's good. Cockpit pressure, we're cruising at a 7,900 foot altitude inside the cockpit, or the cabin. These guys have cooled down a little bit, probably because we're at cruise temperature, and the outside temperature is negative 55 degrees. Hydraulics still good. Fuel starting to get a little chilly, but not too bad yet. Air conditioning. Alright, we got everybody cooled off in the back. This should be nice and comfortable. 23 degrees. Brakes are down to 5 degrees Celsius. Those will continue to drop as we keep cruising here. Flight control trim's good. Engine vibrations are nothing too concerning. We've used 5,720 pounds of fuel so far. Landing at elevation is set to auto, and it looks like 800 feet. And if I check the chart, just to double check. The runway, where are we going to? 24 right is at 781 feet, so that works just fine. Well, that's interesting. Cabin altitude says 7,500 feet, so why does the pressure... am I blind? Yep, I am blind. Pressure. Oh, differential in pressure, sorry. Cabin altitude, 7,500 feet, differential in pressure, 7.9 psi. Okay. Anyway, so we need to enter our destination altitude. That normally happens right around the 80-mile mark. Checklist says to do it by 40, so we're a little ahead of the curve, which is where you want to be. So we'll go over here and take a look at our EFP. And start setting up our approach and landing data. So we'll go ahead and refresh the METAR. And it looks like we have winds at 320, 15 knots, 7 square statute miles of visibility. A little bit of overcast at 1,100 feet. Temperature's 1, -3, dew point 2987 with the altimeter. 2987. Temperature was 1 degrees. Wind 278 and 12. What did I say? 320 and 15. And for our approach, you have two options. You can use the radio, which is your ILS radio height, which normally is around 200 feet, or the barometer. And the barometer setting for this runway, let's pull the charts up here. Look at this here. Our barometer setting is going to be down here. So this actually has a Cat 2 decision height of 100 feet or 880 on the barometer. So we can actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to try pulling it up through here. Oh, well, okay. So we'll have to do that in a minute. Anyways, the barometer flight or height is 880 feet. And let's go back over here and do our calculations. So good medium on the runway. It's dry right now, so I'm not too worried. And we're going to 24 right. We're going to apply the METAR. That's moved to 0 degrees. What's going on there? It says 1 degrees here, but 0 there. Interesting. Let's go ahead and refresh that one more time. Don't know why that's different. Well, all kinds of things that are different. Well, I guess the pressure was just me being dumb. So we are going to put the landing weight in, and unfortunately I do not have my flight planning pulled back up on Atlanta. We should have a landing weight on here somewhere. I think I thought it showed it somewhere, but maybe not. So instead of doing the math, what we will do is pull the briefing back up over here. Which is still not working for some reason with Atlanta. I'm not entirely sure what happened here, but flight plan has not, or decided not to work. So we'll go about another source to find this information. We'll go on over to SimBrief and grab it from there. Alright, so zero fuel weight is 1359er. Enter. And we're set to low brakes. Auto, no reverse. We'll do max reverse on the engines. Do manual land. Flaps full, auto throttles on. So we're showing we've got a straight crosswind at 15 knots. So this is going to be a fun one. A landing distance of 6572. That'll be perfectly fine. So we'll go ahead and put in the low brake, and we will arm these spoilers. And we are coming up on our top of descent here. Okay, so descent prep. The MCDU perf page approach, we've entered the information from EFB Fenix app. We've checked the METAR. Descent landing performance, we've done. TCAS is we will set to below. That way we can see anybody that is we will set to below. That way we can see anybody that is below us. Set to below. Yeah, okay. Let's see, where was I? Approach briefing. I'll pull this over here. We are basically going to be coming in, turning left onto the localizer. We will descend to 3,000 feet to Shirk. Intercept at Groza. The missed approach procedures will be climbed to 1,700 feet. a right turn at 3,000 feet. And direct to DJE Delta Juliet Bravo. Which is right here. So we have to do a go around, we'll come down, immediately climb to 1700, and then at 3000 we will take a right turn over to, what's this say, drive. So I was just checking the leap out to make sure that that wasn't a message I needed to be concerned about. What we'll probably do is we'll start heading to dryer and then we will circle back around and come in for another approach. So now that we're within 20 miles, I'll go ahead and put our descent altitude in, which was 3,000 feet. And then just before we get to the top of the descent, I'll go ahead and start the plane down. That way it gives us the airplane a minute to spool the engines down, and that way we don't overshoot our glide slope. Or descent path, I guess. Need anti-ice. Then turn on our terrain. Looking at the chart, we shouldn't have any major terrain because we'll be right along the lake there. There's Columbus that we mentioned earlier. Go ahead and let everybody get buckled back in so we don't forget to do this later. Approach briefing is complete. Anti-ice, we don't need that yet. And we will go ahead and start our descent. And here's our dot that plane is supposed to be following. That's why I was saying that we want to start a little early so that we don't get too far in front of it, or behind it. And then here you can see the little squiggly line, which means that we're going to get back on the descent path at that distance right there. So it said more drag up here, don't need to worry about it because we're catching back up just fine. Sometimes if you get real far behind or ATC has you descend a little past your top of descent, then you can end up having to use your air brakes some. We did have a path 2 descent somewhere in the flight plan. Let's see if it's still there. Path 2 seat after clapped. And that is, oh, that's probably because we may have to extend our base turn just a little ways depending on what altitude we're at, but we might be okay. It's saying that we're going to be it's going to be a little too steep to get in here safely, so we may have to extend just a little bit, which we'll decide that once we get closer. Next thing we'll be looking for is our transition altitude, which would be 18,000 feet, 1,000 feet, and we'll pull that altimeter. We'll refresh the METAR, and then we'll enter the data, and we'll basically just accept that unless we see something crazy happen. Must be a good amount of cloud coverage up there because there's not much to look at. So the magenta color here, this is our constraints for the standard approach procedure. So we have the flight level 230, which is our altitude. This is below flight level 320 or 230, or between 230 and above 170. So you can see a little minus and plus there, and a speed of 280 knots. So we're already at 280 knots. So we should be okay. We're coming up on 260 and we'll be fine. No problems there. And you can see how it kind of proceeds on up through there, and eventually we'll see our decel point, which the plane will follow and go ahead and start decelerating, and then we can pull in our slats to kind of help us to continue on down to the airport. Alright, so that mentioned more drag there, so we're starting to get behind on the curve a little bit. So what I'll do is put in a quarter of speed brake, which will disarm our spoilers, so we will have to remember to rearm those. And here you can see our recapture of the descent path come up pretty quick. So we'll just do that for a moment to get back on the descent path, and once the green dot comes up, we'll go ahead and retract those speed brakes. So if you're ever flying in real life and you see those speed brakes coming up and going down, they're probably just trying to stay on their descent path. Let's look at this weather again, because I can't see anything in front of me, so that means there's definitely a lot of clouds. So overcast at 1,100 feet, so it's just right above the city for our cloud coverage. See a little bit there. You might not be able to see it on the stream, but I can see some of the clouds up there in the distance. coming up on our 18,000 transition altitude. So let's go ahead and do a refresh and apply. And make sure nothing has changed. 6 degrees now, so that's interesting. The weather has raised 5 degrees in a fairly short period of time. So what are the winds doing now? Okay, yeah, so the winds have increased significantly. We're at 250, 15 mile per hour winds with a 25 knot, or I'm sorry, 15 knot winds with gusting to 25. Visibility is up to 10, so that's good. So the clouds have actually risen up to 1,500 feet, and temperature 6 degrees. So what we will do is we'll go back to our performance here, and we'll go ahead and take care of the altimeter. If I can click on it, there we go. And the altimeter was 2967. So this is probably going to put us ahead of the curve a little bit, but that's okay. 2967. So yeah, the pressure is dropping very quickly, but there's a storm swirling right above the lakes up here, so that's probably what's happening, causing it to change so fast. So 29er, what did I say, 67? Yes, 67. And the temperature is now 6 degrees. The barometer will stay the same, and the winds are 250 at 15. You gotta keep in mind though, the gusts are a solid 10 miles per hour, more than that. So here's what I was talking about earlier. This is a pretty tight turn into here, so the this is the ILS capture point, and the localizer will go all the way back to Shrek. So what we'll probably do is we might bring in a right turn and then let it make sure that we're stabilized if we end up being too high still. And then we'll do a late base turn to the left and then turn left again on final to join the localizer. Starting to see some of the clouds over the city there, and got some of the light peeking through. Alright, so our before landing checklist is advise the cabin crew EFIS is required, ND required terrain. We go in and turn that on. The landing gears down, flaps set to landing, spoilers armed. So let's go ahead and rearm the spoilers. And auto brakes is required. We're at low. Engine selector is required. We should be okay. We'll turn that over to constant ignition. Then auto brakes, good exterior lights, nosewheel lights, take off runway, turn off lights on, go around altitude set, and ECAM M is landing no blue. So next thing on the list, once we hit 10,000, we'll go ahead and bring in our landing lights, get those turned on, and then it looks like we're going to need to have our anti-ice on potentially. What's the temperature? -12. So as long as this is 10 degrees or below, we'll have the anti-ice on. So once we get into these clouds here momentarily, we probably will have to have that turned on. Coming up on 10,000 feet, so we'll go ahead and turn our landing lights on. And we'll bring our navigation display in some. So here's the steep part that we got coming up. So we may have to, if we want to follow this, we can probably do so if we pull in another, pull in flaps 2 maybe. what I may do is just extend this a hair and try to capture it up this way, because that's quite a descent there. And this is because I removed that manual transition earlier and just put the automatic in. So once we hit clapped, I will continue off in this direction, and then we'll do a left base to Shrek, and then a left final. And let the plane continue descending. So we just hit 10,000. Airplane's at 250, so we're good there. Here's our decel point, which will bring us down to 210 knots because of this constraint. Tops of these clouds are pretty high, considering the ceiling is 1,500 feet. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and prepare my direction, or my heading here, and I think it's about 35 maybe. That way, once we get clapped, we'll be ready to take that and continue our descent. And then once we start getting close to 3,000, we'll turn into Shark, not Shrek. Let's go ahead and turn our anti-ice on for our engines. Back on. Let's go ahead and recenter that. Coming up into the FMS decel point, which you can see is already decelerating. We're at 7,000 and 210 knots once we get to that mark. I didn't stay in there. Whoa. And go ahead and get this. Oh crap. And we'll go ahead and make this turn. Continue our descent down to 3,000. Oh, wrong direction. Go down 1,500, and we will pull in our slats to help with our descent, since we gained 150 feet. And we'll bring that into 2,000, and we'll turn right just a little more. Close to our overspeed there, so we'll go ahead and bring this back up to 1,400. We'll let the plane manage at this point. It's going to slow us down first, and we can go ahead and start turning back towards Shirk. We'll make this one continuous turn, and we will do a direct to Shirk and enter, and then make sure that's back in nav mode, and we are. to go with green dot to 3,000 feet. And we're back on the slope. Alright, so we'll go ahead and do a little bit more descent prep here. So we got the terrains on, landing gear is not required yet. We'll go ahead and turn our takeoff lights on. Oops. If I could hit the right things. It's a little bumpy, it's kind of hard. How's that? There we go. Runway. And then we'll hop on. There wasn't really any traffic around, so. Hopkins International, Delta 929, turn final for the localizer for runway 24 right. Hopkins. And we'll go ahead and turn our approach on. Turn on LS. Should be able to pull in, push in the green dot speed. There it goes. Okay. Alright, so cabin crew advised. Terrain is on, landing gear is not needed yet. Get the localizer. Double check this 11155 is correct for the LS. Green dot speed, green dot heading, green dot. Okay. So we got the localizer and we got the glide slope. And once we start our descent, we'll go to flaps 2 and drop the landing gear. Glide slope, landing gear, flaps 2. Double check spoilers are armed. Brake is in low. I'll go ahead and turn ignition on because it is kind of nasty down here. And go around altitude was set to 3,000 feet, which is already set, and a heading. What was that heading? 280. Go ahead and pull on flaps 3. Actually, I think the Airbus will. Oops. And flaps 4. Hopkins International 929, short final runway 24 right, Hopkins. Alright, landing gear down, spoilers armed, brakes are armed, flaps are full. 1,000 feet, we got the airport in sight. Minimums are no longer a big deal. I'll go ahead and take control. Autopilot off. Silence that. Noise detected, so we can turn off that. continue.
100.
Minimum.
50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. 10.
Got a bit of a reverser's full. A little late on my reduction on my throttle there. And auto brakes off. Push through 60 knots versus normal. And we'll take this left. And let's see here. We'll take this. I didn't hear anybody, so I'm not going to bother about. I think we needed to go this way, actually. We did. This runway down here. 6 right. I guess we're landing 24 left. Go ahead and say it. Hopkins International, Delta 929, crossing runway 24 left and onto the gates. A little late, but forgot what the airport was called. Okay, so let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit. Flaps up. Spoilers retracted. We'll go to taxi lights. Take a look at this next left. Onto Lima, I believe. I don't know why I'm oversteering today, but here we are. And we'll take this all the way back to the gates. Let's go ahead and get the APU started. 1, 2, 3. Landing lights we can go ahead and turn off. Why is this being so difficult today? Okay. And then the ignition back to normal. And let's get moving a little bit here. Helps to start the APU, huh? After landing, checklist, brake fans not required. It's the final flight of the day. Interior lights, landing lights are off. Nosewheel lights are to taxi. Runway lights are as required. Okay. And spoilers assignment retracted, flaps retracted, engine selection mode normal, TCAS standby. TCAS is the standby. Weather radar's off. Don't have weather radar yet. Terrain is off. Flight directors off. APUs start. Engine anti-ice is off. APU bleed on when available. APU is now available, so we can go ahead and turn on the APU bleed. Take this next right on over to the gates. Should continue straight and then into Joliet, and then I have no idea where Delta Park's here, so we're just going to find the first one available. Juliet 1. Maybe I should have had my landing lights on. That'd probably been a little smart since it's so dark out today. That might be us right there. Those trucks are parked. We'll go ahead and cut in here. Will they give us enough room? Yeah. Well, that was strange. You see that thing just extend out of nowhere? See the line? Ooh. Oh. I didn't just on my spoilers. I do not see a line on that one, so we're going to go on to the next one because there's no line there. And we'll turn into the gate, so we'll turn our runway lights off and taxi lights. Come on, girl. There she goes. And since we don't have somebody telling us when to stop, go ahead and go out to this view and we'll stop. Alright, brakes on. APU's on. We can shut the engines down. And welcome to Cleveland. So we'll get these overhead lights turned on so we can see again. Lights are all off. Off. Oop, strobe. Should have been auto. And let's go to parking. Parking brake is on. Engine masters are off. Fuel pumps off. Beacon lights off. We'll leave that on for a moment till these engines spool completely down. I'll go ahead and get GSX started with the deboarding process while we wait for that to happen.
This parking is too small for your aircraft. Deboarding requested.
Beg to differ. Seems pretty big for me. Okay, let's see. Where was I? Beacon lights off. Logo off. Transponder mode is set to off. The eyes off. Exterior lights as required. External power is not it is available. It's on. And we can go ahead and
Passengers deboarding starting.
shut the APU down and turn the APU bleed off. Securing the aircraft. We don't have brake fans. Emergency lights off. Let everybody get up. Should have done it more earlier, but no smoking signs. Nav logo light. Crew supply back to off. 8 ears. Nobody's flying after us. Those are all off. Cockpit lights. APU. Okay, so now we're just waiting for everybody to board the plane. And we'll be done for the night. Well, if you enjoy walking people or watching people walk through midair, let me know in the comments. And I hope you enjoyed the flight. And if you're viewing this in the future, let me know in the comments on YouTube there where this will be living with any suggestions or recommendations. Thanks. Have a good night, guys.